Hey Shaggers, how you going? I hope you had a good long weekend so far. Today we're coming back with another video. So today's video will be making a tier list of the cars that I've owned or driven. So going to go back, look for a bit of my own personal history, just on the cars that I've owned over the years in my short 25 years. Pretty much unk now, so we'll get into it. Alright boys, first up in C tier, we got Nan's Commodore. This was the first car that I've driven that had any sort of somewhat bit of semblance of power. So pretty much this car, at the time, I thought was the best thing ever. I remember I'd just be driving around thinking I was the top shit, just getting around the old SV6 Commodore. It was a good car. I remember it being just really fun to drive, and yeah, I think I remember it being a lot better than it actually was, so we'll leave it at that for now anyway. Alright, secondly we got Mum's Corolla in D tier. This car was good, it was very reliable, Toyota, you get what you're paying for. So the only problem I had with this car is that it had absolutely no soul. The only one good redeeming quality about it was that it was manual. And I remember it wasn't the first manual car I ever drove, but it always had a solid shift on it. That's the one thing I remember about it that was really good. So just for having no soul and just being regular traffic, we're just going to place it in D tier. So thirdly, we got Mum's Elantra. This car, I look back on it as very fond memories. Remember, it was my first ever car I really drove straight out of high school. I had it actually during high school, I remember, because we used to go sit in my car most arvos, just pretty much just scrolling through Facebook when I was in between my free periods and stuff at school. But pretty much I remember this car, I remember I had it when I was like 17, 16. I actually learned in this car. This was the car I learned manual in. It was a very fun car to learn manual in. I remember it was manual, had alright shifts in it. I remember by the end of it, it was actually pretty bad. I remember actually when I went for my L's test, I remember I ripped the fucking handbrake up so hard, like the day before my test or something, and I fucking snapping the handbrake off. I remember I had to go do the fucking L's test, and I fucking ripped the handbrake didn't work during my test, and I had to do a hill start, and somehow I managed to pass, which was fucking insane. But yeah, it was a very good car. I remember having good memories, just me and the boys rocking around in Mum's Elantra, like top tier. You can't get much better than that. It's just going in B tier just because it is a normal car in the day. Looking back on it, it's just fond memories and nostalgia. So fourthly, we got this GT Forester. So this GT Forester was the first car I ever bought myself. I remember because I started my job at Domino's, and this was the car that I drove mostly around for Domino's, and it was I had a very good time driving for Domino's in it because it was a 2-litre turbo all-wheel drive Forester. It was probably, I used to love, around this time, I absolutely loved Subarus. I was the biggest Subaru fanboy. It was actually insane. Anyone at high school that went into high school with me, they would tell you I absolutely love Subarus. I would fight to someone to the death about them, argue all day about how good they are. But we'll talk about that a bit more later on with a couple more cars. But this car, it was very good. Never really had, I had some problems with it. Mainly the ring lands were going on it. So I remember one time I was in Macca's car park, in a Macca's drive-through, and ended up fucking smoking out the entire fucking drive-through. It was actually insane. Like, I thought my car was just gonna fucking kill people or smoking them out. It was actually insane. It was so funny. But I remember if you'd sit there for too long and start smoking, it would fucking just, yeah, it was a good car. I remember we used to take camping all the time. It was fucking awesome as. So just the fact that back in that time you could actually get a decent turbo car for so cheap. Like, I remember I brought the car for $2,000. Like, it was insane. It was a good time. I look back on it with fond memories. Number 5, we've got the Suzuki Jimny. This wasn't actually my car, but it was my girlfriend's car. So I remember driving experience wise, it was pretty much, if you're taller than 6 foot, you are not fitting in this thing. Like, it is insane. Like, I remember even I would have to roll down the window and put my arm out. Like, you'd be driving like this, you'd be fucking, you had no arm out the window. It was actually insane. But pretty much it was actually really good on the beach. I remember we took it on the beach a fair few times, and it absolutely flew. Like, I remember if it rained, there was this one time it rained on Barooby Beach, and we ended up taking it, and we ended up actually using 2-wheel drive, and didn't have to use 4-wheel drive. It was just that light and sit on the top of the sand and just go over. It was so much fun. I look back on this car, very fond memories. With me and my girlfriend, we also took it down to Canberra and stuff. It was it was awesome, absolutely awesome little car. The only bad thing I would say is, like, if you got in a crash, like, I don't think you would survive. Like, say anything bigger than a Corolla hit you, no good. But other than that, that's why it's on S tier. But yeah, it was a good car. Number 6, XT Forester. This was my car after the GT Forester. So I remember it was a very good car, very clean Forester. I remember I took it to a mechanic one time and he's saying how clean it was. Pretty much, to me, the XT Forester, it just didn't have as much character in it as the GT Forester. I think it was just one of them in-between cars where I needed a better car, because the whole GT Forester was on its way out for sure. I took this one camping. I took it out with heaps of my mates, heaps of time camping. Not like anything crazy for driving. I actually took it on the beach one time. That was a fucking interesting time for sure. If I can find the video, I'll put it in. But yeah, it was a good car. Just not as nostalgic for me as the GT Forester being my first car, as my first car we brought and all that. But yeah, it was a good car overall. Just not as good as the GT Forester. The 7th car. Alright, this one's a controversial one for me. So back in the day, this was the car that I just wanted ever since I was 16, 17 years old. I remember watching videos on YouTube, staying up late, fucking just wishing I could have one of these. I remember every time one would drive past, I'll just fucking look at it and think, I wish I could have this. So one day I ended up getting one. It was a GD Hawkeye WX 2006. It was in the platinum silver. It was fucking an awesome car. It was manual, EJ25 DET turbo. It was fucking awesome as. Then this was the first car I really started to modify. So I ended up getting an exhaust on it, even an air intake. Then I ended up actually taking it to a tuner and they ended up tuning it. But like, I even had a full service history. It was actually a really nice car. Really enjoyed it. Fucking dreams come true. Really grateful I even got to even drive a car like that, because they're really hard to find nowadays. But anyway, so pretty much it got to a point with the car where I ended up getting it tuned and I just almost fell out of love with it in a way, just because, like, it was just, yeah, it pretty much ended up chewing a lot of oil, and it was just so hard. At this time I wasn't really into maintaining my own cars and stuff, so pretty much yeah, it was a good car, just very chewed a lot of oil, just made me very nervous taking on drives and stuff eventually. So I ended up distrusting the car eventually and wanted to move in a different sort of way, which we'll talk about in the next car. Number 7. The first S tier, the Hyundai Getz. This thing is an absolute little buzz box. Absolutely loves it. Just it's been very good so far. It's like zero maintenance other than a water pump that went in with it when I first brought it in the first couple of weeks. So other than that, it's been an awesome car. It doesn't even get oil changes because it doesn't need it, mate. It's a Hyundai Getz, you know. It doesn't matter. It'll keep going. But pretty much it's manual. Gets me from A to B. Very cheap to run, especially this fuel shit going on at the moment. Like, I remember it only cost me like $60 V10 to fill it up, and it fucking loves it. So it's awesome as. Yeah, it's just funny driving in Hyundai Getz. I don't know, it's just something about it. Like, it's just funny to drive. I remember when me and one of your mates went to go down and get it, and I ended up finding out it had a light bar and a fucking subwoofer in it, bro. I never laughed so hard on the way home from a drive. Like, absolutely loving it. It just reminded me of like the old P-plated style spec shit used to do in my car when I was younger. It's so funny. It just brought back these old memories and stuff. But it's just my daily driver at the moment, so it's just to get from A to B. But it's just been a really good, solid car so far. So that's why it's an S tier. Number 9, the Crown Jewel, the Barra. the XR6 Turbo, the BF Falcon, mate. The absolute bogeymobile. So this is going to go on S tier with the Gets, just because like it is my favourite car I've ever owned. It's yeah, it's just awesome amount of horsepower, how much money I've spent on it. It almost makes as much horsepower as like even old Lamborghinis and like new BMWs and Audis, and it's crazy. Like just the noises that come out of the turbo, it's just everything I've ever wanted in a car. It's awesome, and it's even awesome to know that it was Australian made, and it's just such a good car, solid. It's awesome as. So yeah, that's the tier list. So Falcon in number 1. So it's so good. I just love the car so much. So just a lot of good memories, heaps of good times, and hopefully many more to come too. So. Alright, Shaggers, that's my tier list for the cars that I've owned. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Hopefully more videos coming out in the future. Just gotta wait for some shit to get fixed on my car that I can't fix myself. So just waiting for that to come, and then hopefully we'll have a drag strip video coming out. So that'll be awesome to bring you guys along. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, especially on the latest video. It was so cool to see it get so many views in such a short time. So really appreciate the support. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.